Hey guys, UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Font is going to take place this week in Nashville, Tennessee. Here are our picks, our predictions, what we think of some of the fights. We're not going to go too much into detail on some of these earlier, some of these first fights, but should be an overall good event. There's 12 fighters. Cory Sandhagen, like we said, is gonna fight Rob Font. Originally scheduled to fight Umar, but Rob Font is a late replacement, so this is going to be at 140 pounds. But yeah, let's just start off with the first fight. We have Ode Osbourne versus Asu Almabaev, I believe his name is. Now, I have Asu for this. He's kind of a little unknown, but he is 17-2. This is his UFC debut. We actually did some tape before on him. We watched some tape on him, and this kid looks pretty impressive. I mean, he's fast. He's good punches, good kicks. His wrestling is phenomenal. I know Ode Osbourne has more UFC experience. He's maybe fought some more, higher-end guys with more experience. But I'm just gonna go with Asu just based off of what we've seen on the tape. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think he has everything. He's all-rounded, fast, actually very strong. I was impressed how strong this guy is.
Yeah. And he's not super young. He's 29, but he can make some waves in this division. Another guy from Kazakhstan. So, it's going to be a good fight. Definitely tune into that first fight, guys. Let's start off. Next up, we have Sean Woodson versus Dennis Buzukja. Now, Dennis Buzukja, I believe this is also his UFC debut. I think this is actually Aljamain's training partner, or because they always talk about him, Aljamain and his coach. What's his name? Matt Serra and Ray Longo. They always talk about Buzukja, Dennis Buzukja. I think they're pretty high on him. And honestly, just based off of that, I'm also gonna go with Dennis Buzukja. Sean Woodson sometimes shows to have a bit of low IQ. He can be a bit chinny sometimes. Doesn't always have a lot of output. I don't know much about Dennis Buzukja, but just based off of how Ray Longo and all those guys talk about Dennis Buzukja, I'm just gonna go with him. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the Dennis's fights. But one thing to point out is a big size mismatch. Just 6'2" guy versus 5'8". Is a huge size difference, 6 inches. So some keep in mind. Yeah, you're right about Sean being chinny and IQ for sure. I don't know. Maybe the featherweight is not for him. I'm not sure. He's very awkward though. He doesn't feels very awkward watching him fight.
Yeah, I think maybe just because he's so long and he's so thin. I think maybe it's just probably that. But I have Dennis Buzukja. I'm not really sure if you have a short pick on this one, just because both are kind of relatively unknown. But we can move on to the next one. We have Jake Hadley versus Cody Durden. This is a 125. This is in flyweight. Jake Hadley, from Scotland, making a lot of waves. I see a lot of people calling him another, up and coming prospect. He's not bad. He finished Malcolm Gordon. He finished Carlos. He has 2 wins in a row. I think this is not going to be an easy fight for him. Cody Durden has a lot of fights in the UFC. He's battle tested. He has a lot of experience. I think I might even go with Cody Durden. I'm not really sure what the odds are, but I think I'm gonna go with Cody Durden just because I've seen him many times in trouble. I've seen him, he's always fighting. I've never seen this guy just give up. He's always pushing the pace, going forward, always fighting, more experience. That's my reasoning. Nothing too technical.
I no issues with that. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Next up we have Billy Quarantillo versus Damon Jackson. I think probably the fight I'm most looking forward to so far, maybe besides Ode Osbourne and Asu Almabaev. Both are coming off losses, right? Billy Quarantillo ate that big knee against Edson Barboza, got knocked out, which is no shame. He got knocked out by Edson Barboza. Many people do. He got a little predictable with that the takedown, right? At Edson Barboza timed it perfectly. Damon Jackson, I mean, he just got beat up badly by Dan Ige. I think for this one, I'm gonna go with Billy Quarantillo. I think he's the better striker. I think if he wants, he could grapple. Damon Jackson sometimes, he just feels awkward to me as well. I don't know what it is. Also, we've seen Damon Jackson now put away a couple times by Edson Barboza. We've seen him put away now by Ilya Tapuria, I believe, right? Who put away? Oh, sorry, Damon Jackson was put away by Dan Ige and Ilya Tapuria. My bad. And Billy Quarantillo, he pushes forward, he hits hard. He's not gonna hit you softly. He doesn't pull any punches. For that reason, I'm going with Billy. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Billy had a few good performances. Like his performance, I was impressed with his performance against Pat Sabatini, Camur Kirk. I think he fought somebody after that, I'm not sure. I don't know what the odds are. This is probably one of those fights I wouldn't take. I'm not sure. I wouldn't take this.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, he has a loss to Shane Burgos as well, but that was kind of a very close fight. He's really not that bad. I think he's if you
I'm
don't want,
surprised those two. I'm surprised those two haven't really fought up until now, because they kind of like, as far as I remember, I think they came around the same time to the UFC. No,
like
maybe
20. I think
maybe Billy came a little later.
I think Damon Jackson was like 2019-ish, 2020. I could check real quick.
No, he came earlier. He's been
No, yeah, here 2020. Because I remember he came around the like COVID era. I remember he came around that time. Billy Quarantillo, I think, has been around a little longer because I remember he was on the Dana White Contender Series. So he was 2019. So yeah, I mean, relatively around the same time. But I'm not really sure if I'm gonna bet on any fights on this fight, but I'm definitely gonna be paying attention. This is gonna be an awesome fight. I think this could be this has the potential to be like one of the fights of the night. You probably agree with that as well, right?
yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next one. I guess we have a welterweight bout. We have Jeremiah Wells versus Carlston Harris. Again, Carlston Harris, not very known. He's had, I believe, a couple of fights. He had Jared, yeah, he's fought Jared Gordon, and before that, if you remember, he fought Shafkat. He got the spinning kick to the head. Or sorry, not Jared Gordon, Jared Gooden. He fought. He won that last. But I probably go with Jeremiah Wells. I think he hits a lot harder. He's a little faster. He has a lot of power, that guy. I mean, remember how he knocked out Court McGee, which is not, I think, a big accomplishment now, but just the way he knocked him out. He knocked out Warley Alvarez. I don't know if you remember, that was a big ground and pound. Just based off that, I'm going with
Matthew Semmelsberger was a tough and gritty fight. Yeah,
that was a split decision win for him. Yeah, yeah. But what do you think about this one?
oh, definitely Jeremiah Wells.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I again, I don't know what the odds are, but I think Jeremiah Wells should take this one. Next up, yeah, I guess let's just move on to the next one. We have another prelim bout. We have Raoni Barcelos versus Kyler Phillips. Now, Raoni Barcelos is coming off that loss to Umar Nurmagomedov, I believe, right? He got knocked out.
Yeah.
While Kyler Phillips is coming off a win. I'm not really sure what to think about this one. Sometimes Kyler Phillips, sometimes he looks good, man. Sometimes he looks really, really good. He beat Song.
I think this is going to be another great fight. I'm just
I think these are all going to be great fights.
Only Barcelos, his fight with Timur Valiev. I remember that fight. That was a crazy fight where he came back from nowhere. He was just getting pummeled by Timur, but then he comes back and Timur barely survived. It was a crazy fight. Yeah, he's an up and down fighter. He is going to put everything on the line, though. He is it's another one of those guys. I think that I want to say, and I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm disrespecting them, but I'm not. But lacks IQ or maybe bad corner work, because he is really good. He has definitely potential. I don't know how old is he. I think he's a little on the. He might be past 35, maybe
He's
anywhere from
36.
36. So, but I think that's the only kind of negative. That's the for that
Division, right?
weight class. I think that's considered old, pretty much. So he might be over his physical limit as far as. But I mean, he's in great shape. He's a gritty fighter. I think it's going to be a great fight. But if I had to
Yeah.
go with somebody, he probably would go with Raoni Barcelos on this one. I'm not sure.
I
Despite
was actually, yeah, I was kind of going back and forth with this one, but I think Kyler Phillips I'll go with. Just because he's a little younger. I think he's 8 years younger, or he's 28, right? So 8 years younger. Um, just based off that, I think I think he should get this one. He's a little younger, a little taller, I believe. Honey Barcelos coming off that knockout loss. I just think Kyler Phillips will beat him. That's
I mean,
nothing.
he definitely he has the tools to beat him. I mean,
Yeah,
he was able to pull a win against Song Yadong. He was
yeah, and he was just he was letting Song Yadong. I think it was like he was just letting Song Yadong crash into him. I remember he was just countering him well, which I think he'll do the same with Hani Barcelos. To be honest, I think he'll just let Hani Barcelos like walk towards him, and he'll just land those jabs, the kicks, the right hands here and there, and I think he'll just win a
yeah.
decision.
I'm looking forward to this fight. I think this is going to be an awesome fight.
Yeah, and another awesome fight I think is going to be is this guy Ignacio Bahamondes versus Ludovit Klein. Um, Ignacio Bahamondes, man, this guy is if he's not if he's not just knocking his opponent out quickly, he's putting on some sort of war, right? We saw it with
Yeah, the guy was pretty
he's
bloody
always
up.
he's
Yeah,
always bloodied up, he's always cut up. I mean, that guy just can't fight normally.
yeah. His fight with Makdessi was an awesome fight.
Yeah.
He is one of those fighters. I think that people are finding the antidote for, and the antidote for, as we saw with Makdessi, is pressuring him and not just giving him the distance that he likes.
Hmm.
But we saw him adjust, right? We saw him like start using elbows a lot. Like he
Hmm.
readjusted. So he definitely one of those fighters that again I keep. It's like one of those records, right? He has potential for sure. He has the heart. It just I think he does need to polish up his boxing. His kickboxing is great. I think he kicks box well. His Muay Thai is good, solid.
Yeah.
He needs to probably get his wrestling in order and boxing, like the close range, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely improved his boxing since that John McDessie fight. I don't think he backs up nearly as much as he did. I think he's more content with staying more in the center now. I think he's a little more a little bit older. Got a couple more training camps, a little more experienced, which is why I think he's going to be Ludovit Klein. I think he should
yeah.
be.
No, I agree with you. I don't think
He's
Ludovit
look yeah.
has the tools to beat him. I
Yeah,
think
but
so.
Bahamondes looked good in his last couple of fights. I think I'm a believer in him winning this fight. I'll probably I'm pretty confident he's going to beat Klein, like pretty confident.
Yep.
Yeah, let's move on now. This is we have our first pair of big boys. We got Tanner Boser versus Aleksa Camur. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't really remember Aleksa Camur, but I was looking at his record earlier and I was watching some of his fights and I saw his fights with William Knight and that big guy. Oh, what's his name? Where is he from? The big guy. Oh shoot. Nicolo something, Nigamario. I forgot what it was.
Oh, the
Nigamario,
Romanian guy, or guy from Romania.
Romanian guy. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, he did lose a split
Guriano
decision,
or
but
something like.
and that wasn't heavyweight, I believe, right? Let me look
So
at that.
that's light heavy, light heavy.
Light heavyweight. Yes, you're right. Yes. William. Okay, yes. Light heavyweight. For some reason, I thought he moved down. But anyways, I don't know. I'm not really too impressed with the guy. Um, Probably gonna go with Tanner Boser. I know he's also coming off his own losses, right? He got knocked out by Ian Kutulaba, which was kind of a strange because I just didn't see Tanner Boser getting knocked out like that. Um, but I'm just gonna go with Tanner Boser. I don't know. I think he's faster. I think he's more elusive. He's a little more sneaky. Nothing Aleksa does really impresses me, to be honest. I don't know if you have a
I am
different thoughts.
not gonna make any predictions on this one because I haven't seen a single fight by Aleksa.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
read
that's fine.
in.
That's totally fine for sure. All right, next up we have a Gavin Tucker versus Diego Lopez. This is going to be in the featherweight division. Now, if you remember, Diego Lopez came out of nowhere. He was that late replacement fight against Movsar Evloev. Now, I remember looking at the odds when they announced that fight. I think Evloev was like a minus 800 or 900 or something crazy like that. And this guy, I mean, this guy shocked the world. I think he shocked us for sure. I mean, he hurt Evloev bad. He had him in those deep submissions, right? A couple times. He had him in those knee bars, if I remember correctly.
Bars, I think he had him on Kimura, right?
He had him in
Armbar.
a whole bunch of stuff, and
Yeah.
he just and this was like on a week's notice. On a week's notice against Evloev, no one wants to fight Evloev. This guy can't find a fight. Evloev is ranked, what is he, number 6, number 5, something like that. And this guy comes out of nowhere and almost beats him, right? Um,
Yeah.
and on the
Uh,
other hand, we have Gavin Tucker coming off that knockout loss to Dan Ige. Um,
yes. Yes. And he is an older fighter too. And for that weight class, I'd say that's pretty old. I do remember him fighting Billy Quarantillo. I think I don't remember how that went though. He might have lost it.
I think he beat Billy.
He beat Billy.
Yeah, he beat him. He beat him. Yeah.
But that was like what 3 years ago, something like that. So you want to, I mean,
Okay.
that had to be. I mean, you don't get younger. You don't get any younger, right? So if you couldn't be or whatever had decision, it was definitely a decision. I
It
remember
was
that.
decision. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It was decision, and it was yeah
But
3 years ago.
and so if you can't, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Lopez here, Diego Lopez.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember really much about Gavin Tucker's, grappling, but I probably will go with Diego Lopez. Now, I know it might shock some people just because, like, Gavin Tucker may be a little more experienced and fought higher level competition. But yeah, like you said, he is older. Diego Lopez looked awesome to me against a guy, who one day definitely going to contend the title in Movsar Evloev, and he did that off a week's notice. So I think you give this guy a camp, and he's going to be dangerous. I think he might take Gavin Tucker down, and I think he's just going to bully him down there. I don't know. That's how I see it going.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty big too. Like he was a big 155, right?
He was big. Yeah, he was big. He was pretty big. Next up, we have another 205 matchup. We have Dustin Jacoby versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. Kennedy, of course, that guy also speaking of huge. I don't know how the heck this guy makes 205. This guy is big.
Yeah.
And he likes to put on fun fights. If you remember his fight with Carlos Olberg, that was like a slugfest for 2 rounds straight. He put away. He now I think he has 3 knockouts or finishes in a row, right? All big finishes. Dustin Jacoby, on the other hand, I believe he's coming off a loss to that guy Azamat. Yes, Azamat. He's coming off a loss to Azamat, which he looked he looked bad in that fight, to be honest. I didn't
Well,
like
he
this.
started to come back in the third round. I think he was starting to come
Well,
back
I
in.
think Azamat already kind of, you know,
Yeah,
fatigued.
as Azmat started fading, and he
And
just
if
like,
you're, yeah,
yeah, he knew it's going to be a decision win, and so he was just
yeah.
basically. But
And but it was strange because he looked bad in the Azamat fight, right? Because I think it was kind of advertised as like a striker versus grappler, where Azamat was outstriking him, right? He was jabbing him, he was crossing him up, he was kind of, Dustin Jacoby was kind of just being countered by him.
um,
Before that, he looked great against Khalil Roundtree, and he lost a split decision, which I remember I thought was a little crazy. I didn't see how Khalil Roundtree won that fight, but in any case, I probably will have Kennedy here in this fight. I think he's longer. I think he has a lot more power. He's a lot more brutal.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, he is one of the most unpredictable fighters. Like he can lose to Jung Da-un and
yeah,
then win Kutalaba, right? You just never know what this guy is gonna. Um, Defensively, I think he does need a lot of work defensively. But you're right. I mean, I'm gonna go with him on this one. I'm going with the African Savage on this one.
yeah, it's not a bad nickname either, huh? Next up we have the co-main event. This is a um flyweight, I believe, right? Or what is 115? Strawweight, that's right. Strawweight. This is Jessica Andrade versus Tatiana Suarez. Now, if you remember, everyone's going crazy about this Tatiana Suarez chick. She was gone for a little while. I don't know if she got injured. I
She's
think she
gone for
had like a neck
4 years. I think something with cancer related. I think, right?
cancer. Oh, I thought it was like a neck injury or something.
No, I think it was Nick, and then before that there was cancer. I think it was a bunch of stuff.
Oh wow, could be.
I am pretty sure it's cancer. I don't remember, but it was definitely Nick, and it was, I think, cancer. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't
it could be. I
specifically.
thought it was like just neck or back, but you know, in any case, she was gone for 3, 4 years. She comes back. She came back in the 125-pound division. She fought Montana De La Rosa. She didn't look super great. She looked a little slow. She looked a little, maybe she was a little ring rusted. I'm not really sure what it was.
Yeah, it's a 4 years of not fighting. I
Which
think
which
we
I kind
can.
of forgive her for also, because she was not in her right weight class, right? We know that we've seen people they go up a weight class
She
and
wasn't fly. That was flyweight. Yeah, that was flyweight for sure.
yeah, and 10 pounds of whatever is a lot to carry, definitely will make you slower, a little more sluggish. So I kind of forgive her on that, but she ended up getting it done, which is all that matters, I guess. And on the other hand, we have Jessica Andrade, who is coming off of 2 losses herself in the flyweight division. She's Aaron Blanchfield put her away, if you remember, with a real
Yeah,
joke.
just
Uh,
Josh. I'm not even sure what. Not I don't know what she's trying to do because we see her jumping from weight class to weight class. I don't know if she's just trying to collect a paycheck, or I don't know. I don't think that she has any aspirations of becoming a strawweight champion anytime soon. But I think I'm gonna go with Tatiana on this one. If we
yeah,
get Tatiana, prior to her like sickness, where she was able to beat.
she was just throwing everyone around,
Yeah,
really.
she was stronger than everybody, right? So I think and it's a big if, or maybe not a big if. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with her, with Tatiana on
Yeah,
this
I
one.
think I think we've seen Jessica get taken down many times and controlled pretty easily, right? So for that reason, I'm also gonna go with Tatiana.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
excellent wrestling, excellent submission game.
and yeah, and we've just seen Jessica get knocked out by Jan pretty brutally. So we don't know, could that affect her? Especially, she's pretty big and now she's moving down a weight class. Has she recovered? I don't know.
Good
But
point. Yeah, yeah.
I
The
think
champion.
Suarez will.
Yeah,
I think she'll even finish her like in the second or third round. To be honest,
yeah.
usually I don't ever call a women's fight. I don't ever say a women's fight will be ending a finish, but I think this one will.
Actually, this is Tatiana is one of those female fighters that I actually enjoy watching. She's okay to watch, really. Um,
Yeah.
this is probably going to be one of those fights where it's a test fight for her. I think if she wins that one, probably they would make a high, headline and another, one of those fight nights where she be fighting. I don't know who she'd be fighting, but
Definitely.
somebody up the ranks, for a 5-round, event.
Yeah.
And if she wins that, then they're probably going to start fast tracking her to a championship fights.
Yeah, because if you do remember, she does have a win over the current champion, Aleksa Grasso, and she did beat,
yeah, she choked her, I think, right?
she did beat Carla Esparza, who also was herself just recently a champion. So if she wins this fight, they're gonna shoot her up against the top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Tatiana, and now let's move on to the main event. We have, like we said before, we have Cory Sandhagen versus Rob Font. Of course, this is the card that it was built around them. Of course, this is a catch rate at 140 because Rob Font is taking this on short notice, so they're not going to make him cut the extra 5 pounds, which is nice, I guess. But I mean, initial thoughts, just initial pick, I guess, would be Cory Sandhagen. Now, I did look at the odds, and I saw that Cory Sandhagen was like a minus 330, I think, last I checked, which I think is a little outrageous, to be honest.
You
don't think so?
Probably. I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, Rob Font, maybe that lost to Marlon Vera, maybe, but that was a decision, and he didn't do that badly there. I mean, he did everything he could, right?
Mhm.
Against Marlon Vera. That's actually a really good fight. Should probably watch that fight. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Cory Sandhagen he's got a great chin, right? We know that. Can Rob Font knock him out? Can he? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree that it's probably shouldn't be minus 330, but if I had to pick my favorite fighter here, I'd probably go with Rob Font here.
You go Rob Font?
Yeah.
You really? You
Yeah.
pick Rob Font to beat Cory Sandhagen?
Yeah. Surprised? I don't know.
I'm surprised.
I mean, he did a wonderful performance against Adrian Llanos. I give him that. Yeah, he dismantled him. The Marlon Vera fight, he didn't do bad, right? He had a crazy volume, right? I don't know. I'm still going with Cory.
Oh, okay. Because a second ago you said Rob Font by
Oh,
accident.
no. Did I say sorry? I'm going with Cory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
I think, although I think Rob Font does kind of get a bad rap for like his chin. Yeah, he does get hurt, but I mean, again, he's fighting zombies like, Chito Vera. So, and that guy, you can't do anything against that guy unless you wrestle with him. But yeah, I guess Cory Sandhagen, I have him also. I think he's the better. I don't know if he's the better striker, but because Rob Font does have really good boxing, but he doesn't kick as much. So I guess Cory Sandhagen, yeah, I would give him the striking advantage because he does throw those knees, he throws elbows. I thought Song Yadong I thought he was losing against Song Yadong until he threw that elbow, if you remember, and cut him, which was a game changer in that fight. Also, he's known to throw in wrestling, right? He threw in many takedowns against Song Yadong, which also threw him off. Rob Font, we've seen him struggle on the bottom against Jose Aldo and people like that.
Rob Font, I mean, he's got phenomenal boxing, but I think, and this is what we're discovering more and more. I mean, you either need to be like phenomenal, like insane good in one discipline, and one a particular discipline like wrestling. If you are, then you probably have you have really good chances, but otherwise you need, I think, two disciplines. And he is more of a one-dimensional fighter. He does have, I think he might be, I think, a brown belt BJJ. I'm not sure, but I know his Muay Thai is not bad, but he's predominantly predominantly a boxer, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a very one-dimensional. We see that over and over. We see that, let's say, with Giga Chikadze, right? You know, you kick good, your kickboxing is excellent, but that's not enough. You have to have, you know, two disciplines at least to be really good.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our picks, guys. We picked Cory Sandhagen for this main event. You know, should be an awesome main event. Should be awesome card in general. All these fights, I think, are gonna deliver. I don't see one bad fight here, to be honest. So those are our picks. I hope you guys enjoy the the fight night on Saturday, and see you guys next time.
See you next time.